Have you ever thought how one man with no weapons could free a whole country? That is the amazing story of Mahatma Gandhi. Let's hear his true life now. Early life and education. Mahatma Gandhi was born on October 2, 1869, in the coastal town of Porbandar, which was then part of the princely state of Kathiawar in British India. His full name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, and he came from a modest Hindu family belonging to the Vaishya caste, traditionally associated with merchants and traders. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, also known as Kaba Gandhi, served as the Diwan, or chief minister, of Porbandar and later of other small states like Rajkot and Wankaner. Karamchand was a man of integrity, known for his honesty in public service, but the family was not wealthy. Gandhi's mother, Putlibai, was a deeply religious woman whose devotion to Hinduism, particularly her observance of fasts and vows, profoundly influenced young Mohandas. She taught him the values of compassion, self-discipline, and vegetarianism, which became cornerstones of his life. As a child, Gandhi was shy and introverted. He attended primary school in Porbandar and later moved to Rajkot for high school. His academic performance was average. He was not a brilliant student, but he was diligent and honest. One early incident that shaped his character occurred when he was about 12 years old. Gandhi confessed to his father that he had stolen a small amount of gold from his brother's armlet to pay off a debt. Instead of punishing him, his father wept and forgave him, teaching Gandhi the power of truth and forgiveness. This moment instilled in him a lifelong commitment to honesty, which he later called Satyagraha, or truth force. At the age of 13, in keeping with the customs of his community, Gandhi was married to Kasturba Mukherjee, who was also 13. Their marriage was arranged, as was common in India at the time. Kasturba, affectionately called Ba by Gandhi, would become his lifelong companion, sharing in his struggles and supporting his causes. They had 4 sons, Harilal, Manilal, Ramdas, and Devdas. However, Gandhi later reflected on his early marriage as a mistake, advocating for the abolition of child marriage. In 1888, at the age of 18, Gandhi sailed to England to study law at University College London. This decision was controversial within his orthodox Hindu community, as crossing the ocean was seen as a violation of caste rules. Gandhi promised his mother he would abstain from meat, alcohol, and women, vows he kept faithfully. Life in London was a cultural shock. He initially tried to adopt English customs, wearing Western suits and learning ballroom dancing, but soon realized this was inauthentic. He embraced vegetarianism more deeply, joining the London Vegetarian Society, where he met intellectuals who introduced him to ideas from the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, and Henry David Thoreau's writings on civil disobedience. Gandhi qualified as a barrister in 1891 and returned to India, but his attempts to practice law in Bombay were unsuccessful due to his shyness in court. The South African Awakening. Gandhi's life took a pivotal turn in 1893 when he accepted a 1-year contract to work as a lawyer for an Indian firm in Natal, South Africa. At the time, South Africa was a British colony with a significant Indian immigrant population, many of whom were indentured laborers facing severe racial discrimination. This period in South Africa, lasting over 2 decades, transformed Gandhi from a timid lawyer into a resolute activist. One of the most famous incidents occurred shortly after his arrival. While traveling by train from Durban to Pretoria in first class, despite holding a valid ticket, Gandhi was thrown off the train at Pietermaritzburg station because a white passenger objected to sharing the compartment with a colored man. Shivering in the cold waiting room that night, Gandhi pondered his options: return to India in humiliation or fight the injustice. He chose the latter, marking the birth of his philosophy of non-violent resistance. Over the next years, Gandhi faced repeated discrimination. He was beaten by a stagecoach driver for refusing to give up his seat to a white passenger and barred from hotels. These experiences awakened him to the plight of Indians in South Africa, who were denied voting rights, subjected to poll taxes, and treated as second-class citizens. In 1894, when the Natal government proposed a bill to disenfranchise Indians, Gandhi founded the Natal Indian Congress to organize protests. He extended his stay and began mobilizing the community through petitions, meetings, and newspaper articles. Gandhi's first major campaign came in 1906 against the Asiatic Registration Act, which required all Indians to register and carry passes. He called for civil disobedience, urging Indians to burn their registration certificates. This led to mass arrests, including Gandhi's own imprisonment. During his time in jail, he read Thoreau's Civil Disobedience and John Ruskin's Unto This Last, which inspired him to establish communal farms like Phoenix Settlement in 1904 and Tolstoy Farm in 1910. These ashrams promoted simple living, self-sufficiency, and equality among all races and religions. In 1913, Gandhi led the Great March, where thousands of Indian miners, women, and children protested by crossing into the Transvaal without permits. The marchers faced brutal police repression, but their nonviolent perseverance drew international attention. Under pressure, the South African government negotiated with Gandhi, leading to the Indian Relief Act of 1914, which abolished the poll tax and recognized Indian marriages. By then, Gandhi had earned the title Mahatma, meaning great soul, bestowed by the poet Rabindranath Tagore. Satisfied with the reforms, Gandhi returned to India in 1915, ready to apply his methods to the struggle for independence. Return to India and early nationalist activities. Upon returning to India, Gandhi was advised by his political mentor, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, to travel the country and understand its people before diving into politics. For a year, Gandhi toured India by third-class train, witnessing the poverty, exploitation of farmers by landlords, and the harsh realities of British rule. He adopted simple attire, a dhoti made from khadi, to identify with the masses, and he began promoting Swadeshi by boycotting foreign goods. In 1917, Gandhi's first major campaign in India was in Champaran, Bihar, where indigo farmers were forced to grow indigo for British planters under oppressive conditions. Gandhi investigated their grievances, defying orders to leave the district, and organized a non-violent protest. His efforts led to the Champaran Agrarian Act, which improved conditions for the farmers. This success established Satyagraha as an effective tool in India. In 1918, he supported mill workers in Ahmedabad striking for better wages, leading a fast unto death to resolve the dispute peacefully. That same year in Kedah, Gujarat, he led farmers in a no-tax campaign against British revenue demands during a famine. These local victories built his reputation as a leader of the oppressed. The turning point came in 1919 with the Rowlatt Act, which allowed the British to imprison Indians without trial. Gandhi called for a nationwide hartal on April 6th. Protests turned violent in some places, but the worst atrocity was the Jallianwala Bagh massacre on April 13th in Amritsar. British General Reginald Dyer ordered troops to fire on an unarmed crowd of thousands gathered in a garden, killing at least 379 and injuring over 1,200. The massacre horrified India and radicalized Gandhi. He returned his Kaiser-i-Hind medal in protest and launched the non-cooperation movement in 1920, urging Indians to boycott British institutions, schools, courts, and goods. Millions responded, including students who left schools and lawyers who gave up practices. The movement united Hindus and Muslims under the Khilafat cause, supported by leaders like Maulana Shaukat Ali. However, violence erupted in Chauri Chaura in 1922, where protesters killed 22 policemen. Deeply distressed, Gandhi called off the movement, believing India was not ready for nonviolence. He was arrested for sedition and sentenced to 6 years in prison, but released in 1924 after surgery for appendicitis. The Salt March and Civil Disobedience. During the 1920s, Gandhi focused on social reforms. He campaigned against untouchability, calling Dalits Harijans, and promoted Hindu-Muslim unity, women's rights, and rural upliftment through spinning khadi. He established the Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad as a center for his activities. In 1929, the Indian National Congress, under Jawaharlal Nehru, declared complete independence as its goal. When the British ignored demands for dominion status, Gandhi launched the civil disobedience movement in 1930 with the iconic Salt March. On March 12th, Gandhi and 78 followers walked 240 miles from Sabarmati to Dandi over 24 days, arriving on April 6th to symbolically make salt from seawater, defying the British salt monopoly. This act inspired millions to break the salt laws, leading to over 60,000 arrests, including Gandhi's. The movement gained global sympathy, especially after the brutal lathi charge on peaceful protesters at Dharasana Salt Works, reported by American journalist Webb Miller. In 1931, Gandhi attended the Round Table Conference in London as the sole Congress representative, but negotiations failed. Upon return, he was rearrested, and the movement continued under leaders like Sarojini Naidu. Released in 1933, Gandhi focused on Harijan upliftment, undertaking a 21-day fast to protest untouchability. In 1934, he resigned from Congress to devote himself to village reconstruction, traveling extensively to promote sanitation, education, and economic self-reliance. World War II and Quit India movement. As World War II began in 1939, the British declared India at war without consulting Indian leaders. Gandhi sympathized with the Allies but demanded independence first. When Viceroy Lord Linlithgow ignored this, Congress ministers resigned. Gandhi launched individual Satyagraha, with Vinoba Bhave as the first Satyagrahi. In 1942, with Japan threatening India, the British sent the Cripps mission offering post-war dominion status, but it was rejected. Gandhi then spearheaded the Quit India movement on August 8, 1942, with his famous "Do or Die" speech at the Bombay session of Congress. He called for mass civil disobedience to force the British out. The government responded with mass arrests. Gandhi, Kasturba, and other leaders were imprisoned in Aga Khan Palace in Pune. The movement turned violent in places, with sabotage and strikes, but the British suppressed it harshly, killing thousands. Tragedy struck in prison. Kasturba died in 1944 after a prolonged illness, and Gandhi's secretary Mahadev Desai had died earlier. Gandhi himself fell ill with malaria and was released in May 1944. By war's end in 1945, the British were weakened, and independence seemed inevitable. Partition, independence, and assassination. Post-war, the Labour government in Britain sent the cabinet mission to negotiate independence. However, rising Hindu-Muslim tensions, fueled by the Muslim League's demand for Pakistan under Muhammad Ali Jinnah, led to communal riots. Gandhi opposed partition, viewing it as a vivisection of India, but Congress accepted it to avoid civil war. On August 15, 1947, India gained independence, but it was partitioned into India and Pakistan. Massive violence ensued, with millions displaced and over 1 million killed in communal clashes. Gandhi fasted in Calcutta to stop the riots, achieving temporary peace through his moral authority. He then went to Delhi, where riots continued, and began another fast in January 1948 to promote unity. Gandhi's efforts to ensure fair treatment for Muslims angered Hindu extremists. On January 30, 1948, While walking to his evening prayer meeting at Birla House in Delhi, he was assassinated by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu nationalist who believed Gandhi was too appeasing toward Muslims. Gandhi's last words were, "Hey Ram!" His death shocked the world. Millions mourned, and his ashes were immersed in rivers across India. Legacy and conclusion. Mahatma Gandhi's life was a testament to the power of non-violence and truth. He led India to freedom without firing a shot, inspiring global leaders and ordinary people alike. His principles of ahimsa, satya, and swaraj remain relevant in today's world of conflicts. As Gandhi once said, "An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind." His story teaches us that one person's resolve can change history. Thank you for joining this journey through the life of Mahatma Gandhi. If this video helped improve your English, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Remember, practice speaking these stories aloud to build fluency. Thank you.